Welcome to the short form content playbook. I am so excited that you're here and unbelievably proud that you've taken a step by investing into your creator journey that most creators never do. And that's going to be the difference between how you win and how quickly you win versus everyone else. So congratulations for being here. And I promise this will be a fun experience. We'll get a chance to know each other. You'll also have a ton of value headed your way throughout these videos. And this one's going to be slightly different. I actually encourage you to watch these in chronological order. Sometimes we provide resources, especially in our free webinars that we've done, that we can allow you to watch them more sporadically or in an order that feels more relevant to you. But this has been laid out specifically to be that playbook so that you have no guesswork here. You can just follow along and everything will have knowledge that builds upon itself. So I encourage you to first watch my story. And that's going to be an introduction to who I am and how I've gotten started and how I went from being a bachelor's and master's biomedical engineering student with literally no time at all, with no creative output, to then going ahead and simultaneously building an audience of over 8 million followers and building multiple $1 million creator businesses that feel extremely purposeful and aligned to me, and how I've been able to do that on the backs of short form content mainly. And then the second video that I want you to consume is predicated on the creator mindset. And there's a reason why I'm doing that first before I dive deep into the strategy, because the strategy will get you to the success. And I promise you, I've worked with so many creators at this point in time, and I've done it myself, that it's going to work. That I don't discount. But for you to sustain that level of success is really the difference between any creator who has virality and is relevant for a few months and a creator that can actually make a business or actually have longevity. And that mindset's going to be about how do you naturally be approaching of the inevitable ups and downs that you'll experience, right? The lows in creative juice and also the lows and dips in follower count and engagement. And how do you then manage that while you're extremely busy? And then how do you show up for your audience regularly, even if you don't feel like it? How do you then deal with people that maybe hate on you? How do you experience that? And how do you process that mentally? That's going to be so important for you to consume next. And then we'll move into strategy, which is all about the number one question I get asked: what to post, right? Because the truth is, if you knew what to post about, you'd win, right? If you knew exactly how you make content that's aligned to your brand, how do you always have endless winning ideas so you're not stuck there literally thinking and doom scrolling and acting like that's research? No, I'm going to show you how you do this based on you. And you'll find quickly, if you think I have nothing to offer, I'm not special, I'm not unique enough, we will dive deep into examples and how to do this properly so you'll know exactly what to post. You will actually walk away with your own creator vision, which basically means your own niche, and it'll be a really fun experience. That's my flagship. It's the thing that everyone really knows me for in the creator education world, and it's going to be, again, called the creator vision. So I'm so excited for you to fill yours out. Then we're going to be moving into how do you optimize your content for viewership or engagement, right? So when we're doing this, we're really studying the formats of proven content that has been shown to be algorithmically favorable. And one of the main ways that you can do this is by studying trends and doing trends the right way. So if you just copy and paste trends, it actually reduces your brand authority and you might be bringing in the wrong eyeballs. But if you do trends the right way, the way that I'll show you, you can actually use it to build brand authority while garnering a ton of engagement. Then we'll be moving into the full production system that I use on a day-to-day basis, right? So that's scripting, that's filming, and that's editing. And again, the key word here is doing it efficiently, because the truth is we're all very, very, very busy. And when I was a student getting both my degrees, at most I was having 30, 45 minutes a daily average standpoint. And for me to still show up every single day for the last 5 years, and I mean that, I do. I haven't missed a single day of posting in 5 years. And the lowest points of my life, I was still able to post content. And I've made it a standard for myself. But more importantly, I've crafted a system that allows me to fulfill that standard that you can actually replicate for yourself. So I'm super excited for you to produce quality content super efficiently. And then finally, we will really bring everything together and show you good versus bad content. And I'll show you exactly the thought process because I'll be using my own students, and we'll go through the process of exactly where they started, what they were watching to then become better, and what they were then changing in terms of their formats. And then I'll show you the output of that. So you'll have the full process of understanding, okay, this is probably where you are, right? The before, and then hopefully after the short form content playbook, your content will also look like this. With that being said, I want to now touch on why we're even doing a short form content playbook. So there needs to be some definitions that are first cleared up. And then secondly, I want to explain this great opportunity you have here, no matter if you're a beginner or a more advanced creator. So you have to first understand the difference between short form and long form content. Long form content, just think YouTube long form videos, 10, 25-minute videos. When you think about short form content, you're thinking about Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. And I want to give you, again, the full history behind where this was derived because I was there. When TikTok became the #1 downloaded app in my freshman year of college, I was there. And I saw how it completely revolutionized the landscape of social media as we knew it. And it allowed regular people like you and I to actually stand out. It was the first time in which the algorithm was favorable to new creators. The exposure and the potential for it was unbelievable, unheard of. Why? Because short form content is a lot easier to get started with. You don't need a ton of equipment. You don't need to be someone incredibly wealthy with a full-fledged team. No, you can just use your phone like I did, a shattered iPhone 12, and we're able to reach millions of people by thousands of creators. And that became even tens of thousands of creators, then hundreds of thousands of creators, and millions of creators. And then the birth of Instagram Reels came about because they realized, oh my goodness, this short form content with TikTok, the thing that we thought was a gimmick is actually here to stay because there are now millions of creators using that platform. Oh my gosh, there's 10 million creators using it. We need to adopt it. So then Instagram Reels was birthed. And right after that, what happened? YouTube Shorts was then developed. Then you had Snapchat, LinkedIn, and literally now shopping experiences are predicated around short form content. If you look at Amazon and you go into their app, there's an entire explore page that's predicated on short form content. This is all to say short form content is the opportunity. It does not take a full-fledged production team to make, like sometimes YouTube videos can feel like. Short form content is accessible. It can be done by anyone at any skill level. It's the opportunity to garner exposure, which is important for every beginner and also even more advanced creators. So if you're an advanced creator that doesn't have a short form content strategy in place, you should, you must, because it's here to stay. If you're a new creator, please do not start with long form content because it takes a lot longer for you to get good at. The quantity in terms of how many you can produce in the same span of time is significantly less. So you're getting less reps. Short form content, if you watch this entire playbook, you should be able to post every single day, no problem, like I have for the last 5 years, right? And it's done with a system. You learn that system, but the short form content is an incredible opportunity that you can expand upon your creative expression, right? You can, for the first time, now have all these ideas in your brain and maybe feel things in your soul. And the greatest way to express it is probably not sitting there and trying to make a 15-minute YouTube video if you've never done that before. You can get into this actual consistent flow of creating content through short form. And then this is how you should imagine it in a full ecosystem. So your short form content will bring people in because it's literally optimized for that exposure. Then you will move into long form content. And that is a great, great asset for every creator to have, but it doesn't have to be where you start, right? This is a good place. Short form content is for everyone. Long form content is usually meant for creators a bit more advanced that has an audience that can be funneled into it. And that is also great for its own reasons. But I love short form content. I've been the biggest fan of it. And obviously I'm biased because I started on TikTok, then moved on to Instagram Reels, then moved on to YouTube Shorts. But every single platform in those three, I've been able to have success. And it's all with the system. And now I will tell you that those algorithms have become significantly differentiated, meaning in the beginning, I was able to post a TikTok and repost it on Reels and YouTube Shorts and expect the same viewership. Now, unfortunately, that's not always the case. So if you are just getting started and you're like me and you're extremely busy and you only want to focus on one platform for now, That's more than okay. And I'd actually encourage you to do that. And once you get good at it, then you can funnel the attention to other platforms. Or to be honest, I would increase your surface area for success by just repurposing content across the three platforms. And it's okay to really be optimized on one. So I was first optimized on TikTok, realized that wasn't necessarily the best for me and the business that I wanted to develop. So I focused a lot on Instagram, and that's my current strategy when I'm thinking about short form content. I still repurpose it across the three. There's a lot of incredible creators that now have full-fledged teams or have been able to really track the different algorithms separately and then actually post different content for each. So if you are a creator that wants to grow, then yes, they absolutely require different strategies. And if you really wanted to, then you would have to study them separately, and you totally can. Again, a lot of creators do that. For me, in full honesty, I really do focus on Instagram, then I repurpose it across the other short form content platforms, and I still been able to grow a massive audience on all three. Now, for you, I would be very realistic about the time and energy that you're about to expend. In my opinion, it's going to be best served for you to be really focused on one platform, get good at it. Even if you're going to repurpose, don't really track too much of the successes there or the analytics there, because it may be overwhelming if you have a lot going on, like I did. Focus on one platform, then you can spread out, and then you can move into long form content, and that becomes a funnel, right? It becomes the short form attention, then gets delved into your long form content. That's where you build even a deeper relationship with your audience. There's often this constant conversation behind, June, is short form content even worth it? I mean, why don't I just do YouTube? And one, it again is much harder to do. It takes much longer to edit. It's much more time consuming. The amount of reps that you get in the same amount of time is significantly less. So if you need 100 videos to succeed, it would take you 100 days with short form content and 100 weeks likely if you're posting once a week on YouTube. Hopefully that makes sense. And obviously the more content you get out there, the more feedback you'd receive, and that will help you be optimized. And naturally, when you think about short form content, I believe the reason why it's been able to stick, and this is my theory, living in it and breathing in it every single day, is that YouTube content, let's say you have a 10-minute video, but your watch time may be 30% of that. So they might have stuck around for 3 minutes and you've been able to dive deep with them for those 3 minutes. Think about if you have a minute-long reels every single day, or minute-long TikToks, or minute-long YouTube shorts every single day, and you're showing up on someone's account every single day throughout a week. That's 7 minutes that you're spending with them, right? I think that's the power of short form content. You can constantly showcase your message and be around them, show different aspects of you, demonstrate your knowledge and your expertise, and you can do it. And there's this other than question of people that say, hey, June, but I come from such an expertise in this industry, and there's no way I could create short form content. It's so beneath me. One, I hope that you didn't even buy this, because you probably will always carry that until you start creating it. But the truth is, I've worked with incredibly powerful, talented people in industries, people that have been head of Microsoft startups, from people that have been able to literally make $100,000 on a single post, from people that have made $4 or $5 million per year in their businesses. They come into short form content, and with the right strategy and system in place, they've been able to demonstrate their expertise across a comprehensive plan that balances between intensities, balances between different formats. All of that is part of the short form content strategy. I could talk about it for literally years because of how passionate, how much it's changed my life. So I'm so excited that you're here. Hopefully you can hear it in the excitement in my voice that this will be a really cool, fun experience. I can't wait to see all of your progress as you head into the remaining videos. And please keep in touch with me. You know, my Instagram, you have an opportunity to DM me, and I want to hear, again, all the progress that you're making, because I think it'll be super fun to see.